Here is the title, is in English. Who we are and what did we do. My speech here is in the framework of my work in CTIFL, Interprofessional Technical Center for Fruit and Vegetable. It's a French technical center since 1952. Non-profit organization, mission-oriented for the public sector. And we make studies, training, publication. And the aim is improving the level of expertise in all sectors of the fruit and vegetable. Here is a number of people. We are almost 300 in different centers in France. I work on a property in the south of France, in the department of Gard, near Nîmes, between Nîmes and Arles. And what is the framework of functional biodiversity program? The main questions are, which species can help fruit growers in pest management? What are the needs of these species? How do we encourage their presence in and around orchard? For example, some studies were done, predators and rodents were problem in orchard, beetles, spider and ground fauna in laboratory, as above with carab, and in field with spider. Insectivorous bird and caterpillar in orchard with the tits, and some new studies like corrugated slab to study the ground fauna like reptile, rodent, ants, and so on. And bats. And moths. Working program on bats. The state of art show that main pests in orchards are moths and fly. Some bats are specialists of the spray like long-eared and barbastel, but in your area these species are very rare because it is some modern orchard with very simplified area with edge and very few forests around. What do bat species hunt, close or in orchard? To answer to this question, we have done some recording ultrasound since 10 years, and I show you the last result on a parcel only to show the distribution of species who are recorded. And here is the species. More or less, we have between 9 and 14 species in or around the orchard. But when you focus on species, you see that pipistrelle group represent 78% of the bats who fly around the orchard within the farming region with few forest and edge. In the vicinity of the property, there is some forest, and we must add to this list noctule with very rare in south, barbastel also rare, and long-eared. So there is about 14 species. Study on bats has begun in the 2000, and we have begun with remain of insect under binocular. To answer to the question, do bats eat pest, and how many? So we have begun on pipistrelle because pipistrelle was attracted by the nest box erected for the teat in orchard. So we have begun with a traditional method under binocular with very, very long in time. And you have some result with Chalcidibinopterian and try to recognize. So our job is not to describe the whole deed of Pipistrellus, Pipistrellus, Pipistrellus culi, Pygmaeus, and so on, because we have we work for the fruit growers. And the question is, do this bat eat some moss? So from 2003, we have used only the molecular analysis. So we look for only 1, 2, or 3 species in the bat dropping. So how many collect easily bat dropping in bat box? Because the pipistrelles shown here are the collocation with wasp and then bird. So it's difficult to collect some clean bat box because for the molecular analysis we need a very fresh bat dropping, because the signal of molecular is very low after 30 hours. So we need a very fresh material. The best is to have the animal in a net and to collect the fresh bat dropping here. The first test on bat box to improve bat dropping collection began in the 98, and you have a collection of the first test. You recognize Boulet is a French builder. It is not cement and sawdust, but cement and polystyrene. And Schwegler and Strobel is also a German construction. And you have also a nest box, Schwegler, used by pipistrelle. And you have also some wooden bad model. All these different types of bad box have been occupied, but you see the problem. Tree sparrow, great tits, roof rat, garden dormice, earwig, wasp, and you can add a snake who come in the bat box, who eat the young, and you can't go out because they are too big. And also some frog and so on. Attractivity of different models for this species. Also, the problem was many other species attracted. In our condition, we have a lot of wind. You know, the Mistral, and moving back box must be absolutely prohibited. Bat box must be shaded because we have made some measure of temperature, and you have easily 45 degrees in the middle of the day. The species Pipistrellus pipistrellus, Pipistrellus culi, Pipistrellus pygmaeus, and Nyctalus lesleri. Here we have no observed reproduction. You have on the left a Strobel with an infrared sensor to control the movement automatically to avoid to open the bat box. So the first question was, what are the climatic conditions in natural nursery? We have made some different records in different localities in France with correspondent. And just some example for the species listed on the left. For all species, the mean for roost was 24 to 25 degrees, so it's not very high. And the bats look for the temperature only for the fearless newborn. After, often they move in all the space. And in our condition, cement and sawdust, you call concrete bat box, often too hot in sunny condition, in direct sunlight. The absolute maximum observed in natural colony is 38. And you also see that as soon as possible, bats change of site. So you can see with the horseshoe in Meurthe-et-Moselle, in the east of France, the adult and move from the boiler room for the bird and lactation to crawl space under building after for the winning. And it's described in many publications. Bats change and move in permanence to adapt their body condition to the weather. An example with a Bechstein's bat in nursery in Limousin. The nursery is in a woodpecker hole, 22 adult, in a tree with an old plum tree with a good insulation. The bats, there is birth and lactation in this hole. And for the winning, all the colony, or the nursery, move in a very long and cold cavity in old plum tree also, but with no insulation, so very, very cold. And as soon as possible, adult or young can baisser, descendre leur température. Yeah. The second question, what are the physical and thermal properties of concrete bat box, with correspondence in Bordeaux, laboratory of thermical and engineering. The parameter measured, conductivity, density, earth capacity, emissivity, and so on. The main result are physical and thermal property are the concrete box are very similar. The material used are slightly less insulated than wood, and often are very there is some heterogeneity due to constituent material. How to influence the temperature in bed box? We have measured the emission absorption of radiation by an electric lamp by different material, measured by camera. Here is the emission absorption with the wood painted black, gray, white, or raw, iron and aluminum sheet. And you see the color of the great influence on temperature, and all metal sheet reflect the radiation. Field measurement on wooden experimental bat box. The first, painted black. The third, painted black with a narrow slot, like is very used in America, bat house. Aluminum black sheet cover, aluminum sheet cover, and for bat dropping, a gutter. Here is the mean temperature in direct sunlight. The result, as shown this morning, gradient from sheet to painted black with direct sunlight. according to the cover, if you have some black paint or cover sheet, you create a difference of temperature of almost 5 degrees inside the bat box. But there is no effect during the night or in softened light like in the forest. There is a slight gradient inside the bat box and depends the length of the bat box. And for us, it was about 50 centimeters. There is a 1.5 degrees between the top and the bottom. And no effect of narrow slot on temperature, but slightly on humidity. The follow comparison with ambient temperature. Here is a reference, ambient temperature. All is connected on data logger. Schwegler with and without aluminum sheet. Schwegler painted white and unpainted. And you have the same result. According to the cover of Schwegler concrete box, painted black, painted white cover, you can create a grid variation of about 5 degrees inside the box. Finally, some modeling temperature and humidity has been done with all this result and some climatic data collected on our area. And here is the result. When you paint black, you increase the day-night variation if no airflow. In direct sunlight, you increase temperature in the bat box. In softened light, like in forest, there is no effect of color and sheet on temperature in the bat box. Airflow depends on number of openings provided by bat box. It's the chimney effect. Wall thickness, influence on insulation is the same result. Increase in thickness, decrease in day-night variation. Number of bats, often forgot, but is the main parameters. Influence the air temperature and mainly the humidity. And more bats you have, more decreased variation you create. Because bats, I don't know the English name, produce temperature and humidity. Flat wooden bat box occupancy, here is some result with model you study. It's the cumulative weight on bat dropping in milligram. You can see the black wooden bat box is preferred in summer, and progressively they adopt the gray and the aluminum sheet. So when autumn is growing, bats have their need change and they change their site. You have 2 pipistrelles in the end of November when you remove the front to collect the sensor data. Here is a cumulative weight of bat dropping from 2004 to 2012. Yes. South and snow orientation, you see, got the painted black as a better result. So from 2004, you use only the black wooden bat box. Advantage and disadvantage of concrete box. Advantage, very resistant, long life, easy to control, good substitute to woodpecker hole, attract long-eared, nocturnal, Myotis, natusius. Disadvantage, rather expensive, EV, too hot with direct sunlight, even in north of Europe. Attract many other species, by the hole under and the hole in front of. Regular cleaning imperative, bat dropping collection sometimes difficult. Okay. Flat wooden bat box made in wood. You have the advantage and disadvantage, and now we use only this model because it's well adapted to our work. The question is single chamber bat house or three chamber bat house. You have a multi-chamber bat house in Mississippi, in USA. It is very used bat box in America, and we have tried this model in South. You have a photography, and you have had very bad result with this model because we have had many ants inside. So there's possible some problem with a landing area too short, like here, and perhaps the front board too thin, avec no many insulation. Now, work in progress. It's automatic monitoring of bat movement with an infrared camera. And we are looking for this material on different use, like for a rodent or different use. We have some problem to have a good quality photograph in infrared for the moment. Conclusion: building a universal bat box is utopian. Bat look for site permanently adapted to their specific need. The bat have their preference. You must varied model, constitutive material, mixed exposition, installing groups. Bat box are both substitute for roost and a mean of study, but don't remember, bat box can't replace a good quality environment. That must be a priority. Conclusion 2. Finally, are bats beneficial organisms for fruit growers? You have some results since 2005, and you can see the percentage of positive result to trace of fly and moth DNA in bat feces using PCR diagnostic, molecular analysis. And you can see you can say that bats are really beneficial organisms for fruit grower, as we have found a trace of olive fruit fly, codling moth, oriental fruit moth, who are some pests of economic importance, with result between 2 and 33% of positive in bat dropping. To be continued.